Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, we always end up coming back to the same topics. The narrative of the 2020 election, that Donald Trump is an unethical dirtbag and Joe Biden is just, you know, everything good in society. A model human being and a model family the Biden family is. That was the narrative, and you see that it still kind of exists. Actually, in the video that I just recorded, I played this clip.
What do you like about Joe Biden?
That he's not Trump.
Literally anything is better than Trump because Trump is just such a bad guy. His whole family, they're just a bunch of criminals, a bunch of bad human beings. Well, of course, it's kind of ironic, it's kind of funny, because look, with all the information that we have and the information that continues to come in, there's really only one way that we could describe the Biden family. A bunch of frickin' dirtbags, and there's really no other way to say it. And let's really talk about the double standard here. Again, we pose the same question. Could you imagine if this story was pertaining to the Trump family, what the media would be saying? Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so you guys might not be aware of this, but Hunter Biden is wrapped up in all kinds of legal cases. Most recently, Hunter Biden had to show up to a court hearing, a child support case that he's facing in Arkansas.
A new court action for Hunter Biden, the president's son, appearing before a judge right now for a child support hearing in Arkansas. But this fight could have much larger implications for him and the White House, especially when it comes to the federal investigation into the Biden family's business dealings. So welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Dana Perino.
And I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning at home. Morning to you. We're drying out here in the Northeast. Man.
There's a lot.
More on that later. DNA has already confirmed that Hunter is the little girl's father, and today he's trying to lower his monthly child support payments. This could, however, open the door to new revelations about his own financial records, as well as complicate the other scandals involving him as the president's son.
Hunter Biden, from what I understand, is requesting the courts to reduce his child support payments. A little bit interesting, because here's Hunter Biden with an individual who, how could I say this, works in the adult industry in a hotel room, telling her he makes like $1 bajillion.
No, I make like $1 bazillion.
Hunter, the bajillionaire, trying to get out of child support payments. What a classy guy. The New York Post writes, Hunter Biden may be held accountable for the first time in his life in baby mama London Roberts' case. Hunter's showdown with baby mama London Roberts in Batesville, Arkansas courtroom Monday may be the first time in his life that he hasn't been able to wheedle out of the consequences of his actions. The president's son is crying poor and seeking to cut child support payments to Navy Joan, his unacknowledged 4-year-old daughter, with Roberts, a former stripper, with whom he had a months-long affair. Hunter Biden's trying to make the argument that he's too poor to afford child support payments, at least where they currently stand. I believe it's $20,000 a month. Again, kind of interesting coming from the bajillionaire. Pretty damn interesting coming from the guy who's able to afford $50,000 a month for a beach home in Delaware. Pretty interesting coming from a guy who's currently selling his artwork for up to $500,000 a piece. The point that I'm trying to get to is Hunter Biden is a deadbeat dad and frankly a dirtbag. And really it's the whole lot of them. You know, this situation is sad, not because Hunter Biden is fighting to reduce the payments themselves, but because Hunter Biden fathered a child and wants nothing to do with her. This is the quality family that's taken over the White House. I get it, it's not good for his public image, it's not good for his father's political career, but it's his child, it's his blood. And he's sending a message to that child that I don't want to be in your life, and I also don't want to provide the kind of family for you that I am for the rest of my family. You know, we have all the emails of Hunter Biden claiming that the family's on his back, that he's sending a good chunk of his paycheck to his father, that he's provided such an incredible life for all of his kids, that he's making all of this money and taking care of everybody. That's the standard that he holds himself to when it comes to providing for that side of the family. But this poor child that he brought into the world, he simply doesn't care. And it gets even worse than that. You know, the greatest guy on the planet, the most ethical, most presidential president of all time, I mean, he is the most ethical man to do it. Joe Biden is a dirtbag just like his son. Watch. Joe Biden proudly lists all of his grandkids except for Hunter Biden's love child.
She wants to know where my granddaughters are. One granddaughter lives in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. One granddaughter lives in New York. One granddaughter lives in Washington. One granddaughter lives in Wilmington, Delaware. And the other grandsons, my grandson lives in California. I left somebody out, didn't I?
And he's repeatedly said this. Every time Joe Biden is asked how many grandchildren he has, he responds, I have 6 grandchildren. He doesn't. He has 7 grandchildren. And frankly, I find this heartbreaking. This is the ethical family that brought back civility and real American values back to the White House. The media's going on and on and on about Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels and, I don't know, probably some other nonsense involving his family, with no real details of what happened, no real intimate understanding of Donald Trump's relationships, his marriage. They know absolutely nothing. It's built on lies and assumptions, at least for the most part. Not denying that the hush money was paid, but again, we don't know the details of that relationship and the dynamic between him and his wife. We have absolutely no idea what's going on in his personal life, yet the media will go on and on about it and claim just how much of a bad human being he is. Meanwhile, here's the president of the United States who has a literal grandchild, and he's shunning her because she's not convenient to his perfect image, and the media is helping him craft that image. You have a man here who has a blood relative, a direct descendant, a young girl who did absolutely nothing wrong, that his son, who supposedly he loves so much and could do no wrong, his son, Hunter Biden, who Joe claimed was the smartest guy on the planet, the smartest guy he's ever met, fathered this young, innocent child, and Joe Biden doesn't even acknowledge her existence. That poor kid. And Joe Biden obviously knows. I mean, listen to what he said.
My grandson lives in California. I left somebody out, didn't I?
I left somebody out, didn't I? Yeah, Joe, you did. And you know exactly who you left out. These people are self-interested scumbags. That child is going to grow up with no real support system. I mean, child support is technically support, but you know what I mean. No support system. No grandparents, no cousins and aunts and uncles and grandparents. That child is going to grow alone, is going to grow up feeling unwanted. We're talking about an emotional tragedy here that could easily be prevented, but the Bidens don't want to prevent it because the Bidens don't want the bad press. It doesn't get any more despicable than that. You can tell me all you want about that secret recording of Donald Trump and the infamous grab them by the you-know-what quote, but we all know what that is. It's male locker room talk. We've all been there, done that. It's not some terrible transgression. To be honest, I find it more despicable that somebody secretly recorded him and then held on to that until right before the 2016 election. I find that more despicable than what Donald Trump actually said. It's not some sort of great moral offense. This is. You take responsibility for the children that you bring into this world, and you provide them with everything necessary, and it goes beyond money. And Hunter Biden, Mr. Bajillionaire, is even going to the extent of trying to remove as much money from the equation as possible because he doesn't want to pay for it. You brought the kid into the world, you pay for it. These people are dirtbags, selling their influence to the highest bidder without a care in the world. Joe Biden failing in Afghanistan and then looking at his watch as the bodies, the caskets of 13 slain U.S. service members were brought onto U.S. soil. You know, it goes on and on and on, just simply no respect whatsoever across the board, whether it's the corruption, the lies, the propaganda. Anyways, you guys get it. No reason to sound like a broken record. The Biden crime family is just as despicable as ever. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. You know that we'd love to have you here joining the Liberal Hive Mind community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.